Order. I'd like to welcome everybody. Happy New Year to you, and it's good to have our newly elected mayor, Fred Teague, with us tonight. And anyway, we're gonna see if we can make our first one a good one here. So, all right, we're gonna start it off by the housekeeping items we normally take care of with the approval of the minutes from last month's meeting. Commissioners, what is your pleasure? Okay, we have a motion. We have a motion, and Commissioner Choate and Commissioner Monfrey has seconded that. And all those in favor acknowledge by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. All right. All right, next is old business. We've had a request to withdraw a special use permit, as you can see in front of you here. Is that, you? I don't know. Sarah, you want to?
Under the 2022 zoning code, they were unable to move forward, and so they were planning to wait until the 2023 zoning code was adopted. It has been adopted. It is effective, but then they decided to go ahead and remove their application, just withdraw it and not move forward with that at that location. Period. So they are requesting to withdraw that application.
Okay, we have a motion to accept this request of withdrawal. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All right, Mr. Smith seconded that. All those in favor acknowledge by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. All right, new business. Item number one here, election of officers 2023. Chairman, vice chairman, and secretary. We can do that in one vote, I guess, like we've done before. Commissioners, what's your pleasure? We have a motion and a second to re-elect the officers for the 2023 as presented. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor acknowledge by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Who seconded that?
Smith. No, you motioned it. Yeah, Cody did. Commissioner Black. Yeah, he's the one responsible for that mess. So. All right, easy guys, easy. Y'all settle down. All right, item two here. Large-scale development located on 5177 US 64 West, submitted by Barrett and Associates on behalf of Farm Credit Services of Western Arkansas, ACA. Sarah, give us a staff report on that, please.
Yes, sir. Commissioners, our computer is not connecting to the TriCaster for some reason today, so although I do have a presentation, you'll just have to follow along in your staff reports that are in front of you, and I do apologize for that. So this is a large-scale development for the new Farm Credit Training office facility. It is located there on 10 acres at the intersection of West Main, Parkway Drive, and Lakefront, right there, that vacant property. And hopefully you can see that on your staff report, because I can't show you this map here. It is Zone C4, quiet neighborhood and quiet business. It is situated right there at Lake Dardanelle, West Main, and it is adjacent to the Union Pacific Railroad. Properties south of the railroad are zoned R2 medium density residential and R1 single family residential. The property is approximately 10 acres and generally slopes toward the lake. The large scale development is due to the size of the building and the size of the property. They are proposing to build an office training facility meeting all setback requirements, commercial building design requirements, and they are proposing landscape. And I would show you the pretty picture that I have in my presentation that shows that landscaping. However, I cannot. So I do apologize for that. And the Board of Adjustment did just grant the variance approval for their request to not build the sidewalks along the Main Street, Parkway Drive, that's a RDOT property, and a reduction in the parking requirement. So as a result of that, it is staff's recommendation that you would approve this application to build the Farm Credit Office and Training Center as a result that the applicant demonstrates compliance with Article 2.12 and 3.20 of the 2022 zoning code, that variances to the sidewalk and parking requirements were granted by the Board of Adjustment, and the applicant demonstrates compliance with the regulations within Section 7 of the Land Subdivision and Development Code. Are there any questions? Yes, sir. And it's in a location, they have already been meeting with RDOT and trying to work out some of the parameters with that driveway. It's as far away from the intersection and still workable for both Farm Credit and RDOT.
Will they have to go toward London and turn and come back?
No, I believe they're going to have a left turn into,
Cut across there?
that is my understanding. Yes, sir, that is permitted by RDOT at that location. Oh.
If they'll use it for a
Never
turn lane and
mind,
not a merge lane,
my
then they'll be all right.
information is old information. David Garza will give you the updated RDOT requirements.
It's gonna be sad to see that field go.
Are there any other questions for me?
We were hoping for a par 3 golf course there, but hey, Farm Credit will work.
I do apologize, but this building, if you could see from the pictures in my presentation, does look like a very nice office training center facility.
I can't think of a better way to that's gonna be nice seeing that when you first come in to town. Commissioners, do you have any questions for Sarah? Anybody have any questions at all? Cheryl, Commissioner Smith, y'all have any questions for her? Larry, y'all have any questions for Sarah? Figure out what? Okay. Dave, you wanna go ahead and?
Yeah,
We'll
so
see.
as of this morning, last week, Tavy with the Highway Department and the construction manager went out there, and we were asking them to look at the driveway. And what we've determined is the driveway is going to move closer to the lake, so at the very end of the property, which gives it more room, and they said that would be a safe place to put it for right out and left out as well. So it gets it further away from that little point, and.
I'm going toward London.
Mhm.
And I go through the light. You're gonna be able to make a left,
Yes.
cross over that merging track.
Yes. Because at that point where it's at, it's widened because there's a flare. So you pull over into the flare and then you turn in. Look on your phone. Google Earth should be on your phone. You can pull it up. There you go. Your maps.
I was just concerned about the traffic coming from London. Because they will have to stop.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Highway Department looked at it, and I said,
Yeah, they're good with that.
Okay, all right, commissioners, is there anybody else to, Dave, is that all you had on that? Is there, okay, anybody got any questions for Mr. Garza? All right, commissioners, what's your pleasure? Okay, we have a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, and all those in favor acknowledge by saying aye. Aye. I marked that, I voted on that too. And any opposed?
I need to be noted as abstention.
Okay. Commissioner Black is going to abstain. We do have 5 yeas and no, so it does carry. So, all right. All right, we have a, item number 3 here is a special use permit to allow a convenience store with fuel cells, is that what that's supposed to? Sold in
Fuel,
C2,
yes.
C4, located on 1600 South Elmira, submitted by Grant Jackson on behalf of Taylor Mercantile. Sarah, you got a staff report on that?
Yes, sir. So this is I'm sure you're all familiar with the convenience store gas station down there at 16th and Elmira. They have been, or in the process of being purchased by the SQRL gas station. They've already done renovations and remodeling of that structure and property, and in the gathering of closing documents or whatnot, it found that it's a non-conforming use because it's never been issued a special use permit. So this application and the very next application, which is again for SQRL gas stations, just at a different location, are both being heard tonight so that they can have their special use permit issued for financing purposes. And so this is C4 and C2 zoned. It's kind of split down the property at the intersection of 16th and South Elmira. Properties to the north are industrial. Properties to the south are residential, and west are commercial. There are a mixture of residential, commercial, and industrial properties in this area. It's only permitted by special use permit. Site plan review and commercial building design requirements appear to be met. This is not a new construction, and so there's no requirement for sidewalks, although sidewalks do exist along 16th Street, and the parking appears to be met. So as a result of that, it is staff's recommendation that you would forward this to City Council. As a result of the findings that the applicant demonstrates compliance within the regulations of Article 2.10, Article 3, and Article 6 of the 2022 Russellville zoning code. The proposed use is in line with adjacent uses in this district. It's existing. Current traffic routes are constructed in such a way to handle this business. Are there any questions?
DLC, yep. And then, okay, all right, thank you, Sarah. Is there anybody else that has any comment or any questions regarding this motion, or this permit request? All right. Commissioners, what's your pleasure?
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, motion to approve, do I hear a second? Seconded by Commissioner Monfey. All those in favor acknowledge by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. Okay. The next item is special use permit to allow convenience store fuel sales. Same thing at 1100 North Arkansas, submitted by Grant Lax on behalf of Taylor. Sarah, is there anything to add to that one?
The only difference is the adjacent properties do not consist of any industrial properties. There are residential and commercial properties to the east of this property are medium high density residential. Again, single family residential. Everything appears to be met except that there's no sidewalks there. We're not requiring any sidewalks because it's an existing structure. And so the same recommendation that you would forward this to City Council with a recommendation to approve because they demonstrate compliance with regulations within Article 2.10, Article 3, Article 6 of the 2022 Russellville zoning code. The use is in line with adjacent uses in the district, and current traffic routes are constructed in such a way to handle this existing structure. Are there any questions?
All right. Thank you, Sarah. This was an existing convenience store with fuel sales. It's just like the other one was. So. Okay, Commissioner Black has made a motion to accept, or to approve this. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All right, Commissioner Jackmore seconds that. All those in favor acknowledge by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. All right, we have a consideration for appointment to the Board of Adjustment. Our chairman, and in my tenure of 8 years here on the Planning Commission, I was on when I came on, Blake Tarpley was the chairman of the Board of Adjustment back then, and he has served his second term, but he has been elected to our quorum court. So he's no longer eligible to serve on the Board of Adjustment. So Josh Stroud has been recommended by our new mayor to replace him, and it's going to require a vote from the Planning Commission. So we have a consideration for appointment there. Do I have a motion to? Wow, okay, let's fight over Josh, okay. No, all right, we have a motion and a second to accept this appointment and forward it on to the City Council. All those in favor acknowledge by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carried. Okay, all right. If there's no other business, we are adjourned.